Hi, welcome back to Crates with Zed. Today we're taking a look at the biggest video I've ever done. We're going to be opening 1,000 crates today. So it'll be 200 of crate number 45, 200 of 76, 200 of 49, 200 of 54, and 200 of 82, our most profitable crate today. If you're new to the channel, please know I'm not gambling for gambling's sake. I gamble because I enjoy the math behind it, and because these are all profitable crates. These are crates where we can expect to get more out of them than we put in. So for example, this one I'm putting in 1.02 keys and I'm getting out 1.04 keys. So that's a 0.02 key profit with every crate I open, and the profits only get better throughout the video. Also got some fun charts around the screen that help you understand what we're doing when we're opening these crates. We can see how close we are to the actual probabilities listed on the wiki, or how much profit we're getting compared to our expected value. So hopefully this video is easy for you to follow. We do this in a low stimulation kind of way as well, so you can just throw this on in the background while you work on something else, and I'll make sure to make a point when we get something big so you can check in. For those who have been watching me, you'll notice my chart at the top left. It is looking a lot happier. I sold the Bewitching Bugs Rain Dunabeanie for 100 keys, so instead of that being the 10 or 15 keys I estimated in the video, we have a much happier graph. Okay, we're going to go to the first crate overview. We're looking at crate number 45. The hits we're looking for are the strange parts. The bad strange parts are worth about half a key. That's the kills while explosive jumping and soldiers killed. But the one we're really looking for is the strange part domination kills, which we get 10% of the time, which is 7.4 keys. And that feels like an unusual when you get it. It's like a very low tier unusual. And we're getting it 10% of the time, as opposed to the normal unusual rate of 0.66%. So that's why I like opening crates with expensive strange parts in it, because you get a good chance of getting your money back. Our cost to open is 1.02 keys. Our expected value is 1.04 keys for 0.02 keys of profit. Our chance to profit is 10.56%. That's the domination kills or the series 2 unusual. The key price in metal is 57.66 refined, and the key price in cash is $1.65 US. If you want to buy keys for cash, Manco.store sponsors the video, and that's where I grab my cash price from. If you make a purchase using the link in the description, that helps support the channel. At the bottom, we have our friend the Unusual Tracker, and it's looking the happiest it's ever looked because it's looking at 1,000 crates. And so with 1,000 crates, we have a 78.8% chance to get 5 or more unusuals, a 10% chance to get 4 unusuals, a 6.5% chance to get 3 unusuals, a 2.9 to get 2 unusuals, a 0.1 to get 1 unusual. Let's hope we don't get that. And a very, very, very small chance of not getting an unusual. So, unless I'm really, 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 really unlucky, this video should have multiple unusuals in it. And that's tracking 1,000 crates across the whole video. Okay, let's jump into the openings. Number 1. We get a strange sticky bomb launcher. That's worth about 1/4 of a key. Number 2. We get a strange Persian Persuader. That's not worth much of anything. Number 3. Ooh, we get strange part domination kills. That's what we're looking for. That's worth 7.4 keys, so we make a profit of 6.4 keys on that open. Very nice. Number 4. Back to back, way to go. Excellent start to the video. Another domination kills means another 6.4 keys of profit. Great start. Number 5. No way, 3 in a row. That's nuts. That's another 6.5 keys of profit. We're already up 17.46 keys for the video. Wow, excellent start. I wish I could stop here. Number 6. Strange part kills while explosive jumping. That's worth 0.74 keys, so we lose 0.27. Number 7. Strange Persian Persuader. Number 8. Strange part soldiers killed. That's worth half a key. Number 9. Strange sticky bomb launcher. And number 10. Strange part soldiers killed. 11. That's a strange Scotsman skull cutter. That's worth 0.2 keys, so we lose 0.8. 12. We get it again. 13. Another strange part domination kills. Very nice. 14. Strange part soldiers killed. 15. Strange Persian Persuader. 16. Another Persian Persuader. 17. Strange Scotsman skull cutter. 18. We get a Tavish de Groot experience. That's a craft hat. That's not worth anything. Number 19. Another domination kills. Wow. That's another 6.5 keys of profit. You can see at the value open chart on the left, we expected maybe 12 keys of value from this so far, and we've got almost 40 keys of value. So we're running really lucky so far. Since we're opening 200, it should even out by the end of the 200, but for now, we're running really, really, really lucky. Number 20. That is a rimmed Raincatcher. That's our other craft hat. 21. That's a strange Scotsman skull cutter. 22. Another rimmed Raincatcher. 23. Strange part soldiers killed. 24. Strange sticky bomb. 25. Strange Scotsman skull cutter. 26. Strange Persian Persuader. 27. Strange part kills while explosive jumping. 28. Strange sticky bomb. 29. Another sticky bomb. 30. Strange Scotsman skull cutter. 31. Another Scotsman's. 32. A third Scotsman's in a row. 33. A fourth one in a row. Let's keep the combo going. That is the Tavish de Groot again. 35. Strange part kills while explosive jumping. 36. That's the strange Scotsman skull cutter. 37. Strange Sticky Bomb. 38. Ooh, another Strange Part Domination kills. Another 6.5 keys of profit. We're up 13.75 so far. 39. Strange Scotsman Skullcutter. And 40. Strange Part Soldier's Guild. 41. Strange Scotsman Skullcutter. Still looking for that unusual. 42. Strange Persian Persuader. 43. Strange Part Domination kills. We'll take it. That's a great pull. 44. The Tavish de Groot experience. Not a good pull. 45. Strange Sticky Bomb. 46. Strange Persian Persuader. 47. Strange Sticky Bomb. 48. Strange Scotsman Skullcutter. 49. Another Scotsman Skullcutter. 50. Strange Part kills while explosive jumping. Let's take a little break and look at the charts. We're still doing way above on Strange Part Domination kills. We're at 45, maybe 50 keys of value on that. We expected less than 40. Otherwise, it's looking pretty on par for the rest of them. We've seen less Sticky Bombs and less Persian Persuaders, which is good. We'll keep going. Still looking for that Series 2 unusual. 51. Strange Scotsman Skullcutter. 42. 52. Another Persian Persuader. 53. Another Persian Persuader. 54. Another Oops, not a Persian Persuader. A Scotsman's Skullcutter. 55. Sticky Bomb. 56. Another Sticky Bomb. 57. That's a Scotsman Skullcutter. 58. Another Scotsman Skullcutter. 59. Another Skullcutter. 60. Sticky Bomb Launcher. 61. Strange Persian Persuader. 62. That's a Rammed Raincatcher. 63. Scotsman Skullcutter. 64. Strange Sticky Bomb. 65. Strange Persian Persuader. 66. Another Persian Persuader. 67. Strange sticky bomb launcher. We're down 3 keys. We haven't seen value in a little while. 68. Strange part kills while explosive jumping. 69. Strange Scotsman Skullcutter. 70. Another Persian Persuader. 71. Strange part domination kills. Love to see it. Just brings us back in the green. 72. Strange sticky bomb. 73. Strange Scotsman Skullcutter. 74. Strange sticky bomb. 75. Strange Persian Persuader. 76. Strange part kills while explosive jumping. 77. Rimmed Raincatcher. Sucks to see. 78. Strange sticky bomb. 79. Another sticky bomb. 80. Strange part domination kills. Sweet. Keeping us back in the green. 81. Strange sticky bomb. 82. Strange Persian Persuader. 83. Strange sticky bomb launcher. 84. Another sticky bomb. 85. Another sticky bomb. 86. Strange part kills while explosive jumping. 87. That's the Tavish de Groot. 88. Strange Persian Persuader. 89. Strange sticky bomb. 90. Strange part soldiers killed. 91. Strange Scotsman Skullcutter. 92. Strange part domination kills. Not enough to get us back in the green this time. We're still down half a key. 93. Strange sticky bomb. 94. Strange Persian Persuader. 95. Strange sticky bomb. 96. Another sticky bomb. 97. Strange sticky bomb. 98. The Tavish de Groot. 99. Strange part soldiers killed. 100. Strange Scotsman Skullcutter. Okay, looking at our charts again. The expected value and actual value for Strange Part Domination kills is almost equal. We got lucky at the beginning and then it kind of evened out now. We saw more Sticky Bombs and Persian Persuaders. And yeah, I think overall the items opened are looking about what we expect. It's not way off. Why don't we keep going into the hundreds? 101. Strange Persian Persuader. 102. Another one. 103. That's a Scotsman Skullcutter. 104. Another Scotsman Skullcutter. 105. Strange Part kills while explosive jumping. 106. A Scotsman Skullcutter. Whoops. I get those mixed up all the time. 107. Strange Sticky Bomb. 108. Strange Part kills while explosive jumping. 109. Strange Scotsman Skullcutter. 110. Scotsman Skullcutter. 111. Another Scotsman Skullcutter. 112. Strange Sticky Bomb. 113. Strange Persian Persuader. 114. Strange Sticky Bomb. 115. Strange Persian Persuader. 116. Another Persian Persuader. 117. The Tavish to Groot Experience. 118. Strange Sticky Bomb. 119. Strange Persian Persuader. 120. Strange Sticky Bomb. 121. Strange Sticky Bomb. 122. Strange Part kills while explosive jumping. 123. Strange Scotsman Skullcutter. 124. Strange Part kills while explosive jumping. 125. Strange Persian Persuader. We're falling behind on value here. We're down 26.22 keys. That's mostly from not seeing enough Strange Part Domination kills now. 126. Strange Sticky Bomb. 127. Strange Sticky Bomb. 128. Strange Part Soldiers killed. Whoops. There we go. 129. We get it again. 130. Strange Persian, not Persian, Scotsman Skullcutter. 131. Strange Persian Persuader. 132. Strange Sticky Bomb. 133. Strange Part Soldiers Killed. Whoops. 100. Oh, I lost my count. Strange Persian Persuader. We're at 100. This is 35. Strange Persian Persuader. 136. Strange Part Domination Kills. Finally coming back. 137. Strange Part Soldiers Killed. 138. Strange Sticky Bomb. 139. Strange Sticky Bomb. 140. The Tavish to Groot. 141. Strange Part Domination Kills. Come on back. 142. Strange Persian Persuader. 143. Persian Persuader. 134. Or 44. Rimmed Raincatcher. 145. Back-to-back Craft Hats. 146. Strange Persian Persuader. 147. Strange Scotsman Skullcutter. Whoops. There we go. 148. Strange Part Domination Kills. Love to see it. 149. Strange Scotsman Skullcutter. And 150. Strange Part Domination Kills. Sweet. 151. The Tavish to Groot. 152. Strange Part Domination Kills. Coming on back. We're down to 12 keys of loss. 153. Strange Scotsman Skullcutter. 154. The Tavish to Groot experience. 155. Strange Part Domination Kills. Sweet. Slowly climbing back up. We're down to 7 keys of loss. 156. Ooh, back to back. Love to see it. We're almost at break even. 157. Strange Sticky Bomb. 158. Strange Persian Persuader. 159. Strange Sticky Bomb. 160. Strange Persian Persuader. 161. Strange Persian Persuader. 162. Strange Sticky Bomb. 163. Strange Sticky Bomb. 164. Strange Scotsman Skullcutter. 165. Scotsman Skullcutter again. 166. Strange Sticky Bomb. 167. Strange Persian Persuader. 168. Another Persian Persuader. 169. Scotsman Skullcutter. 170. Strange Part Domination. Kills. 171. The Tavish de Groot. 172. Strange Scotsman Skullcutter. 173. Strange Sticky Bomb. 174. Another Sticky Bomb. 175. Strange Sticky Bomb. 176. Strange Persian Persuader. 177. Strange Part Domination Kills. 178. Strange Part kills while explosive jumping. 179. The Tavish de Groot. 180. Rim Draincatcher. 181. Scotsman Skullcutter. Whoops. 182. Strange Sticky Bomb. 183. Strange Sticky Bomb. 184. Strange Part Domination Kills. Very nice. Almost back to break even. 185. Strange Persian Persuader. 186. Strange Sticky Bomb. 187. Another Sticky Bomb. 188. Strange Persian Persuader. 189. Strange Sticky Bomb. 190. Strange Scotsman Skullcutter. 191. Strange Part kills while explosive jumping. 192. Strange Part Soldiers Killed. 193. Strange Part Soldiers Killed. 194. Strange Persian Persuader. 195. Strange Part Domination Kills. Another one would put us in the green. 195. That's not a Domination Kills. That's a Rim Draincatcher. We're actually at 197. Strange Scotsman Skullcutter. 198. Strange Part Soldiers Guild. 199. Strange Scotsman Skullcutter. And number 200. Strange Persian Persuader. Let's take a look at where we got with crate number 45. So we spent 203 keys. We got back 195. We got a little more domination kills than we expected, but it's about on par. We saw less of the other strange parts, and we saw a lot more sticky bombs. We saw 25% sticky bombs when we only expected 20. So overall, this went about average. We didn't see an unusual, which would have gave us some value, but that's okay. Let's go to the next crate. Our next crate is crate number 76. This one has a strange conch, which is worth 0.35 keys. We see that 20% of the time. And then the strange parts, we see 10% of the time each. Kill streaks ended is only worth 0.3, but freeze cam taunt appearances is 1.5 keys, and damage dealt is 6.5 keys. So it's about the same as the last one, only we have it spread across 2 strange parts instead of 1. So hopefully this should be a little more as expected. We don't have to depend so much on getting the best hit. We've also got the 2 craft hats, the front runner and cold killer, and this one is a series 3 unusual, which is a little more expensive. Our cost to open is 1.03 keys and our expected value is 1.06, so this time we're getting 0.03 keys with each crate we open. Our unusual tracker at the bottom is still happy, but we're a little sad not to see an unusual so far. But for the remaining crates, 800 of them, we have a 60.8% chance of getting 5 or more unusuals, a 16.5 of getting 4 unusuals, 12.5 of getting 3, 7.1 of getting 2, and I can't really read the other percentages, they're overlapping, but some small chances of getting 1 unusual or no unusual. Let's go back to the openings. Fresh crate number 201. Strange conch. 202. Strange eviction notice. 203. That is the cold killer. That's a craft hat. 204. Strange eviction notice. 205. Strange revolver. 206. Strange part damage dealt. That's worth 6.5 keys, so we gain 5.5 keys. 207. Strange conch. 208. Strange revolver. 209. Strange eviction notice. 210. Another eviction notice. 211. Strange conch. 212. Strange conch. 213. Strange revolver. 214. Strange eviction notice. 215. Strange revolver. 216. That is the front runner. Thought that was unusual for a second. 217. Strange revolver. 218. Strange eviction notice. 219. Strange revolver. 220. Strange conch. 221. That's a strange revolver. 222. Strange part. Strange cosmetic part. Wow, this is a long one. Breeze, cam, taunt, appearances. It's worth a key and a half. 223. The Cold Killer. 224. Strange cosmetic part. Breeze, cam, taunt, appearances. That's a little bit of profit. 225. Strange revolver. 226. The Cold Killer. 227. Strange conch. 228. The Cold Killer again. 229. Strange eviction notice. 230. Strange eviction notice. 231. Frontrunner. 232. Strange eviction notice. 233. The Cold Killer. 234. Strange conch. 235. Strange revolver. 236. Strange eviction notice. 237. Strange revolver. 238. Strange eviction notice. 239. Strange revolver. 240. Another revolver. 241. Strange revolver. 242. Strange eviction notice. 243. Strange part kill streaks ended. 244. Frontrunner. 245. Strange eviction notice. 246. Strange eviction notice. 247. Strange revolver. 248. Strange revolver. 249. Strange eviction notice. And 250. Front runner. Okay, ouch. This hasn't gone well so far. We expected the strange part damage dealt a lot more than we have so far. We expected more than 30 keys of value from it, and we've got less than 10 keys of value from it. So that sucks. We're down 43 keys so far. We're only a quarter of the way through the video though. We still have 750 more crates to go. So let's keep on going. 251. Strange part damage dealt. 252. Strange eviction notice. 253. Strange part kill streaks ended. 254. Strange conch. 255. Another conch. 256. The cold killer. 257. Strange conch. 258. Front runner. 259. Strange eviction notice. Whoops. 260. Strange revolver. 261. Strange part damage dealt. 262. Strange conch. 263. Strange part kill streaks ended. 264. We get it again. 265. Another eviction notice. 266. Front runner. 267. Strange part damage dealt. 268. Another front runner. 269. Strange revolver. 270. Strange conch. 271. Strange part damage dealt. We're seeing more of those now, which is nice. 272. Strange conch. 273. Strange conch. 274. Strange part damage dealt. Love to see it. Slowly creeping back towards our expected value. 275. Strange part kill streaks ended. 276. Strange revolver. 277. Another revolver. 278. Another revolver. 279. Strange eviction notice. 280. Strange cosmetic part, freeze cam taunt appearances. 281. We get it again. 282. Strange eviction notice. 283. Strange part, kill streaks ended. 284. Strange part, damage dealt. Still not at our expected value for that. 200 and... oh geez, lost my count. Strange eviction notice. What are we at? 250, 60, 70, 86. 286. Strange cosmetic part, freeze cam taunt appearances. A little bit of profit every time on those. 287. Strange revolver. 288. Strange conch. 289. Strange conch. 290. Strange conch. 291. Strange revolver. 292. Strange eviction notice. 293. Strange eviction notice. 294. Strange part, kill streaks ended. 295. Strange part, damage dealt. Oops. There we go. 296. Strange conch. 297. Strange cosmetic part, freeze cam taunt appearances. 298. Cold killer. Whoops. There we go. 299. Strange conch. And 300. Another conch. We're still down 33.5 keys. Most of that's just from the strange part damage dealt, not hitting as often as we'd like. But other than that, it's going as expected. Still would love to see a Series 3 unusual. Another 100 without seeing it. Too bad. Okay, 301. Strange part kill streaks ended. 302. Strange part damage dealt. 303. Strange eviction notice. 304. Strange conch. 305. Strange part damage dealt. Nice, nice. Almost back at expected value. 306. Strange part kill streaks ended. 307. Strange cosmetic part, freeze cam taunt appearances. 308. Strange eviction notice. 309. Strange Conch. 310. Strange Eviction Notice. 311. Strange Conch. 312. Frontrunner. 313. Cold Killer. 314. Strange Revolver. 315. Strange Eviction Notice. 316. Strange Conch. 317. Strange Cosmetic Part Freeze Camp Taunt Appearances. 318. Strange Conch. 319. Strange Eviction Notice. 320. Strange Cosmetic Part Freeze Camp Taunt Appearances. 321. Strange Revolver. 322. Strange Part Kill Streaks Ended. 323. The Cold Killer. 324. Strange Conch. 325. Strange Part Damage Dealt. 326. Back-to-back damage dealt. Very nice. 327. 3 in a row. Way to go. That brings us just above expected value, so we're doing a little bit better, minus the unusuals we've missed out on. 328. Frontrunner. 329. Strange Conch. 330. Strange Conch. 331. Another Conch. 332. Strange Conch. That's 4 in a row. 333. Frontrunner. 334. Strange Revolver. 335. Strange Eviction Notice. 336. Strange Revolver. 337. Strange Conch. 338. Strange Conch. 339. Frontrunner. 340. Strange Part Kill Streaks Ended. 341. Strange part damage dealt, sweet. 342. Strange eviction notice. 343. Front runner. 344. Strange conch. 345. Strange conch. 346. Strange eviction notice. 347. Front runner. 348. Strange conch. 349. The Cold Killer. And 350. Strange eviction notice. Okay, we're a little under on strange part damage dealt, and we haven't seen enough of the cosmetic part freeze camp taunt appearances, which would also help our expected value. And still no unusual. That's too bad. Very unlikely. Okay, 351. Strange eviction notice. 352. Front runner. 353. Strange conch. 354. Another conch. 355. Strange revolver. 356. Strange part kill streaks ended. 357. Strange revolver. 358. Another revolver. 359. Front runner. 360. Strange eviction notice. 361. Strange part damage dealt. 362. Strange eviction notice. 363. Front runner. Whoops. There we go. 364. Strange part kill streaks ended. 365. Strange conch. 366. Strange part damage dealt. Good to see. 367. Strange revolver. 368. Another revolver. 369. Another revolver. 370. Strange conch. 371. Strange revolver. 372. Strange cosmetic part freeze camp taunt appearances. 373. Strange revolver. 374. Strange part. Kill streaks ended. 375. Strange eviction notice. 376. Strange eviction notice. 377. Strange conch. 378. Strange revolver. 379. Strange eviction notice. 380. Strange revolver. 381. Strange revolver. 382. Strange conch. 383. Strange part damage dealt. 384. Front runner. 385. Strange eviction notice. 386. Front runner. 387. Strange part damage dealt. 388. Strange conch. 389. Strange revolver. 390. Strange cosmetic part. Freeze cam taunt appearances. 391. The Cold Killer. 392. Strange conch. 393. Strange part damage dealt. 394. Strange revolver. 395. Strange conch. 396. Strange cosmetic part freeze cam taunt appearances. 397. Strange conch. 398. Strange revolver. 399. Strange revolver. And 400. Strange conch. Okay, so looking at how we did, we missed on the unusual again for another 200, and we saw less of the cosmetic part freeze cam taunt appearances, and a little less of the damage dealt, though it was about average. Overall, we're down 38 keys, which is too bad, but still within reason, I think. We spent 409 keys and got back 371 so far. Let's jump over to our next crate. Okay, our next crate is going to be crate number 49. It's got the Strange Scattergun at 20%, which will be about a key, so that'll be nice to hit often. The other Stranges aren't worth much. The Strange parts are worth about half a key, except for Robots Destroyed, which is coming up 10% of the time, and is worth 7.5 keys. We've got 2 Craft Hats again, and this one will be a Series 2 Unusual. The cost to open is 1.05 keys, and the expected value is 1.09 keys. so we're gaining 0.04 keys for each crate we open. Our unusual tracker at the bottom of the screen is starting to look a little sad. It's still quite happy, but it's worrying. We've got a 36% chance of 5 or more unusuals. We have a 19.6% chance of 4 unusuals, a 19.8% chance of 3 unusuals, a 14.9% chance of 2 unusuals, a 7.5% chance of 1 unusual, and a 1.9% chance of no unusual for the remaining 600 crates. Let's hope we can hit that 5+. Let's hope that we're not hitting no unusual for the whole video. And we'll keep going with 200 of number 49. Okay, let's jump into the openings. Number 401. Strange Shovel. 402. Strange Scattergun. We get almost our full value back. 403. Strange Scattergun. 404. Strange Scattergun again. 405. Wow, a lot of scatterguns. 406. That's 5 in a row. Wow. 407. Strange part, low health kills. That's worth just under half a key. 408. Strange part, engineers killed. Again, worth under half a key. 409. Strange part, low health kills. 410. That is the Furious Fuku. Oh, I always forget how to pronounce this. Furious Fuka Migasa. 411. Strange part, low health kills. 412. Strange Shovel. 413. Another shovel. 414. Strange part, robots destroyed. That's what we're looking for. So we're 7 keys, so we gain 6 keys profit. 415. Strange homewrecker. 416. Strange part, low health kills. 417. Strange homewrecker. 418. Strange shovel. 419. Strange part, engineers killed. 420. Strange homewrecker. 421. That is the Surgeon Stahlhelm. Another craft tab. 422. We get it again. And it's disappeared onto a later page. 423. Strange part, low health kills. 424. Another Surgeon Stahlhelm. 425. Strange Shovel. 426. Strange Scattergun. 427. Strange Homewrecker. 428. Another Furious Fukumigasa. 429. Strange Shovel. $430. Strange Scattergun. 431. Another Scattergun. 432. Waiting for a response. Strange Shovel. It's gone to another page again. 433. Another shovel. 434. Strange part, low health kills. 435. Another shovel. 436. Strange part, low health kills. 436. Strange Scattergun. That was 37. So this is 438. Strange Scattergun. 439. Strange part, robots destroyed. Hooray! 440. Strange Shovel. 441. Strange Scattergun. 432. Strange part, low health kills. 443. Surgeon Stahlhelm. 444. Strange Scattergun. 445. Strange Homewrecker. 446. Strange part, robots destroyed. Nice. Another 6 keys of profit. 447. Strange Shovel. 448. The Surgeon Stahlhelm. 449. Strange Scattergun. And 450. Another Surgeon Stahlhelm. Don't want to see those. How we looking? We're down 50 keys for the video. And we're behind on the strange part, robots killed. I want to see some more of those coming up. So let's see if we get it. We're seeing twice as many Surgeon Stahlhelms as we want, so that's really hurting us. Let's not see as many craft hats. 451. Strange Homewrecker. 452. Another Homewrecker. 453. Furious Fukumigasa. 454. Strange Homewrecker. 455. Strange Scattergun. 456. Another Furious Fukumagasa. 457. Strange Scattergun. 458. Strange Homewrecker. 459. Strange Shovel. 460. The Surgeon Stelhelm. Lots of craft hats. 461. Strange Scattergun. 462. Another craft hat. 463. Strange Scattergun. 464. Strange Scattergun. 455. 65. Strange part robots destroyed. Very nice. 466. Strange Homewrecker. 467. Strange Shovel. 468. Strange part engineers killed. 469. Strange part engineers killed. 470. Strange part robots destroyed. Very nice. Slowly climbing back up. 471. Strange Homewrecker. 472. Strange part engineers killed. 473. Strange Shovel. 474. Strange part low health kills. 475. Furious Fukumagasa. 476. Strange part low health kills. 477. Strange Shovel. 478. Strange Scattergun. 479. Strange Homewrecker. Whoops. 480. Strange part low health kills. 481. Furious Fukumagasa. 482. The Surgeon Stelhelm. 2 craft hats in a row. Ouch. 483. Strange part low health kills. 484. We get low health kills again. 485. Strange Scattergun. 486. Furious Fukumagasa. We get a Strange Scattergun. 488. Strange part robots destroyed. Need to see more of these. 489. Another home wrecker. 490. Another home wrecker. 491. Strange shovel. 492. Another shovel. 493. Strange part engineers killed. 494. Strange shovel. 495. Another shovel. 496. Strange part, low health kills. 497. Strange part, robots destroyed, nice. 498. Strange homewrecker. 499. Strange part, robots destroyed, nice. Slowly creeping back up to that expected value. This is number 500. Strange scattergun. Okay, looking at the graphs, everything's looking about average, other than the robots killed. We're short one or two of those. Would like to see some more. And we'd like to see less craft hats. We've seen almost twice as much as we expected. So let's see less craft hats. Okay, 501. Furious Fukumagasa, another craft hat. 502. Strange shovel. 503. Strange part engineers killed. 504. Strange shovel. 505. Strange scattergun. 506. Another craft hat. 507. Strange part, low health kills. 508. Low health kills again. 509. Strange scattergun. 510. The Surgeon Stahlhelm. 511. Another craft hat. Brutal. 512. Strange shovel. 513. Strange part, low health kills. 514. Strange shovel. 515. Hey, unusual soulmate. Series 2 unusual on average is 12.5. Let me look up a price for this one though. Okay, so that's anywhere between 10.5 to 11 keys, so I'm going to put that at 10.75. Let's go see how it looks on our Pyro. Here's my already fisherman-friendly loadout, so let's see what it looks like with the Soulmate. Not as good, to be honest. I'll definitely be selling this hat, and if you're interested, it'll be on my Mancode store once the trade lock expires. Okay, that's our first unusual in 515 crates. Let's hope it's our first of many. Let's go to 516. Strange shovel. 517. Strange scattergun. 518. Another scattergun. 519. Strange shovel. And 520. Strange homewrecker. 521. Strange shovel. 522. Strange homewrecker. 523. Strange part low health kills. 524. Strange part engineers killed. 525. Strange shovel. 526. Another shovel. 527. Strange homewrecker. Whoops. There we go. 528. Strange part engineers killed. 529. Strange shovel. 530. Strange homewrecker. 531. Strange shovel. 532. Furious Fukumigasa. 533. Strange scattergun. 534. Strange part robots destroyed. 535. Strange homewrecker. 536. Strange scattergun. 537. Strange homewrecker. 538. Strange part robots destroyed. Love to see it. 539. Strange homewrecker. 540. Strange part robots destroyed. Crawling back up towards the expected value. 541. Strange homewrecker. 542. Strange part engineers killed. 543. Strange part robots destroyed. Excellent. 544. Strange shovel. 545. Another shovel. 546. Strange shovel. 547. Strange part robots destroyed. Excellent. 548. Strange part engineers killed. 549. Strange part low health kills. 550. Strange shovel. Looking at our graph, we're almost up to expected value on the strange part robots destroyed. And we got our unusual, which is very nice. Okay, 551. Strange part robots destroyed. Excellent. We're at expected value now. Still a little shy. 552. Strange shovel. 553. Strange part engineers killed. 554. Strange shovel. 555. Strange part engineers killed. 556. Strange part engineers. 557. Strange homewrecker. 558. Strange shovel. 559. Strange homewrecker. 560. Another homewrecker. 561. That is unusual Das Gut. Let me try again. Unusual Das Guten Kutherren. Guten Kutherren. And it's smoking. This looks pretty sharp. Let's see what it's worth. Let me type in Series 2 Unusual and I'll go look up the price. Okay, so the price, I'm going to put that about 22 keys. There's buy orders at 22, but there's just no sellers anywhere, so I don't have a high end to go off of. STN.trading has it at 54 keys if they had one in stock, but I'm not going to take that as a price. Let's go see how it looks on the Medic. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that pull. Okay, we'll keep going and hopefully get some more unusuals. This is 562. Strange shovel. 563. Strange part engineers killed. 564. Strange homewrecker. 565. Strange shovel. 566. Strange shovel. 567. Another shovel. 568. Strange part engineers killed. 569. The Surgeon Stahlhelm. 570. Strange shovel. Whoops. 571. Strange homewrecker. 572. Strange scattergun. 573. Strange part engineers killed. 574. Strange scattergun. 575. Strange shovel. 576. Strange Scattergun. 577. The Surgeon Stahlhelm. 578. Strange Homewrecker. 579. Strange Shovel. 580. The Surgeon Stahlhelm. More craft hats. 581. Strange Homewrecker. 582. Strange part low health kills. 583. Strange Homewrecker. 584. Strange Scattergun. 585. Strange part Engineers killed. 586. Strange Homewrecker. 587. Strange part Engineers killed. 588. Strange part low health kills. Whoops. There we go. 589. Strange Scattergun. 590. Strange Homewrecker. 591. The Surgeon Stahlhelm. 592. Strange Shovel. 593. Strange part low health kills. 594. Strange Homewrecker. 595. Strange part Engineers killed. 596. The Surgeon Stahlhelm. 597. Strange part Robots destroyed. Love to see it. 598. Strange Scattergun. 599. Strange Homewrecker. And 600. Strange Scattergun. Alright, let's look at how we did. We're a little behind on value for the Strange part Robots destroyed, but we got two unusuals when we maybe only expected one and a half. And the unusual we got was above average, that last one here. So that's great. Yeah, otherwise it performed basically as expected. We're down 52 keys overall, which is too bad. We spent 619 keys so far and only opened up 567. So we're hoping for some more profit in the back 400 here. Our next crate is crate number 54. This one's an interesting low-risk one. We have the Strange Sniper Rifle, Spicicle, and Rapid Assassin, all worth about a key. So 60% of the time we'll just make our money back. The two Strange parts, Underwater Killed and Kills While Ubercharged, aren't worth very much. But Snipers Killed is worth almost 3 keys. So that'll be a nice hit. We have two craft hats that we want to dodge, and this one has a Series 2 unusual. Cost to open is 1.03 keys, the expected value is 1.07, so we're gaining 0.05 keys with every crate we open. Yeah, this one should be pretty low risk, and we'll see what we get out of it. Our unusual tracker is looking about normal now. In the remaining video, we have 400 crates to go, so we have a 12.8% chance of 5 unusuals or more, a 14.5% chance of 4 unusuals, a 22% chance of 3 unusuals, a 24.9% chance of 2 unusuals, and an 18.8% chance of 1 unusual, or a 7.1% chance of no unusual. So let's hope we get a couple unusuals here. On to the openings. Number 601. Strange part, snipers killed, great start. That's worth 3 keys, so we gain 2 keys of profit. 602. Wow. Excellent start. 2 snipers killed in a row. 603. Strange rap assassin. That one's worth a little more than a key. 604. Strange sniper rifle. That one is a little under a key. 605. Another rap assassin. 606. Strange sniper rifle. 607. Strange part, kills while uber charged. 608. Strange rap assassin. 609. Strange spycicle. That one's worth just over a key. 610. Another spycicle. 611. Strange rap assassin. 612. Strange sniper. 613. Strange rap assassin. Whoops. 614. Strange rap assassin. 615. Strange part, kills while ubered. 616. Strange spycicle. 617. Strange rap assassin. 618. That is the surgeon's side satchel. That's her craft hat. 619. Strange sniper. 620. Strange spycicle. 621. Strange part, underwater kills. Not worth very much. 622. Strange rap assassin. 623. Strange sniper. 624. Strange rap assassin. 625. Strange rap assassin. 626. Strange sniper. 627. Another sniper. 628. Strange part, kills while ubercharged. 629. Strange Spicicle. 630. Another Spicicle. 631. Strange Rap Assassin. 632. That is a Hottie's Hoodie. That's a Craft Hat. 633. Another Rap Assassin. 634. Strange Spicicle. 635. Strange Sniper. 636. Strange Part Sniper's Guild. Sweet. 637. Strange Part Underwater Kills. 638. Strange Spicicle. 639. Strange Part Underwater Kills. 640. Strange Spicicle. 641. Strange Sniper. 642. Strange Part Underwater Kills. 643. Strange Sniper. 644. Another Sniper. 645. Strange Rap Assassin. 646. Strange Part Kills while Uber charged. 647. Strange Rap Assassin. 648. Strange Spicicle. 649. Strange Part Sniper's Guild. And 650. Strange Sniper Rifle. Okay, let's look at what we got so far. Looks like a little above average. We've got more Rap Assassins than we expected. No Series 2 Unusual so far. Yeah, overall, we're going pretty well so far. Let's go to 651. Strange Rap Assassin. 652. Strange Spicicle. 653. Strange Spicicle. 654. Another Spicicle. 655. The Surgeon's Side Satchel. 656. Strange Sniper. 657. Strange Spicicle. 658. Strange Sniper. 659. One more Sniper. 660. The Surgeon's Side Satchel. 661. Strange Spicicle. Whoops. There we go. 662. Strange part kills while uber charged. 663. Strange Rap Assassin. 664. Strange Sniper Rifle. 665. Strange Rap Assassin. 666. Strange Bicycle. 667. Another Bicycle. 668. Another Bicycle. 669. Strange Bicycle. 670. Strange Rap Assassin. 671. Another Rap Assassin. 672. The Surgeon's Side Satchel. 673. Strange Rap Assassin. 674. Strange Sniper. 675. That's a Hottie's Hoodie. 676. Strange Rap Assassin. 677. Strange Bicycle. 678. Strange part Snipers killed. 677. Strange Rap Assassin. Oops, that wasn't 77. This is 680. Strange Sniper Rifle. 681. Strange part Snipers killed. 682. Hottie's Hoodie. 683. Strange Sniper Rifle. 684. Strange part kills while Ubered. 685. Strange Sniper Rifle. 686. Strange Bicycle. 687. Hottie's Hoodie. 688. Strange part Underwater kills. 689. Strange Bicycle. 690. Strange Rap Assassin. 691. Strange Sniper. 692. Strange Bicycle. 693. Strange Rap Assassin. 694. Strange Sniper. 695. Hottie's Hoodie. 696. Strange Bicycle. 697. Strange Rap Assassin. 698. Strange Bicycle. 699. Strange Sniper. And 700. The Surgeon's Side Satchel and the Craft Hat. Okay, going on the 701, but let's take a look at the graphs beforehand. We're still going above average, I think. We're above average on the 3 Stranges, but we're below average on the Strange part Snipers Killed, and we didn't see an unusual so far, so we're a little below on that. But I think it all evens out to be about average. We'll keep going. 701. The Surgeon Side Satchel again. 702. Strange Bicycle. 703. Strange Rap Assassin. 704. Strange part Underwater Kills. 705. Strange Sniper Rifle. 706. Another Sniper. 707. Strange Bicycle. 708. Strange Rap Assassin. 709. Strange part Snipers Killed. Sweet. 710. Strange Rap Assassin. 711. Strange Sniper. 712. Strange Bicycle. 713. Strange part Underwater Kills. 714. Hottie City. 715. Strange Sniper Rifle. 716. Strange Bicycle. 717. Strange part Underwater Kills. 718. Strange Sniper. 719. Strange Rap Assassin. 720. Strange part Snipers Killed. 721. Strange Rap Assassin. 722. Strange Bicycle. 723. Strange Rap Assassin. 724. Strange Sniper Rifle. 725. Strange part Snipers Killed. 726. Strange Rap Assassin. 727. Strange Bicycle. 728. Strange part Snipers Killed. 729. Strange Bicycle. 730. Strange Rap Assassin. 731. Strange Spicicle. 732. Strange Sniper Rifle. 733. Strange Rap Assassin. 734. Strange Sniper. 735. Another Sniper. 736. Strange Part Underwater Kills. 737. Strange Rap Assassin. 738. Strange Part Underwater Kills. 739. Strange Rap Assassin. 740. Strange Sniper. 741. Strange Sniper. 742. Strange Spicicle. 743. Strange Spicicle. 744. The Surgeon's Side Satchel. 745. Strange Spicicle. 746. Hottie's Hoodie. 747. Strange Part Snipers Killed. 748. Strange Rap Assassin. 749. Strange Spicicle. And 750. Strange Sniper Rifle. Looking again at the graphs, we're above average on the stranges and below average on the strange parts, and still no unusual, which is sad. 751. Oh, we're down 50 keys for the video. Not bad for open up 7. Let me try again. We're down 52 keys for the video so far, which isn't bad for opening 750 crates. You don't often get to spend 50 keys to open 750 crates, so take advantage while you can. Okay, 751. Strange Spicicle. Whoops. Whoopsies. Goodness. Okay. 752. Strange Sniper. 753. Strange Rap Assassin. 754. Another Rap Assassin. 755. Strange Sniper. 756. Another Sniper. 757. Strange Part Underwater Kills. 758. Strange Part Kills While Ubered. 759. Strange Sniper Rifle. 760. Strange Part Snipers Killed. 761. Strange sniper rifle. 762. Another strange sniper. 763. Strange part kills while Ubered. 764. Strange sniper. 765. Strange, not sniper rifle, strange part Sniper's Guild. 766. Strange sniper rifle. 767. Strange bicycle. 768. Strange part kills while Ubered. 769. Strange sniper. 770. Another strange sniper rifle. 771. Strange bicycle. 772. Strange sniper. 773. Hotties hoodie. 774. Strange bicycle. 775. The Surgeon's Side Satchel. 776. Strange part Sniper's Guild. 777. Strange Rap Assassin. 778. Strange Rap Assassin. 779. Strange Bicycle. 780. Hottie's hoodie. 781. Strange part Sniper's Guild. Oops, that disappeared to another page. 782. Strange part Underwater Kills. 783. Strange Rap Assassin. 784. Strange Bicycle. 785. Strange Sniper. 786. Strange Bicycle. 787. Another Bicycle. 788. Strange part Underwater Kills. 789. Strange Sniper Rifle. 790. Hottie's hoodie. 791. Another Craft's hat. 792. Strange Bicycle. 793. Strange Rap Assassin. 794. Another Rap Assassin. 795. Another Rap Assassin. 796. Strange part kills while ubercharged. 797. Strange sniper rifle. 798. Strange part underwater kills. 799. Strange part kills while ubercharged. And 800. Strange Spicicle. Okay, how do we do on 54? Let's take a look. We, again, are above average on the stranges and below average on the strange parts, and we didn't see the unusual. So I think overall we're about average. We spent 680 keys so far, and I've only got back 628, so we'll keep going. Just realizing my total cost doesn't make sense, because I've opened up 800 crates, which is 800 keys. So my cost should be a little more than 680. Let me dig in and fix my spreadsheet so that the costs are accurate here. I'm not sure what the problem was. I refreshed my overlay and it updated to the right cost. So apologies for that being wrong for a little while. The total cost so far is 824 keys and our total value is 769 keys. So we have lost 54.83 keys so far. Okay, on to the last crate. It's going to be Supply Munition number 82. This one's a channel favorite. We have the Flog Strangifier at 50%. Let me try again. We have the Flog Strangifier at 20%, which is worth half a key. And for strange parts, we have a strange cosmetic part kills at 10%, which is worth 5.5 keys. And we have the strange part headshot kills at 10%, which is worth 3.5 keys. So those combined makes it for some pretty good expected value. The rest is kind of trash in the crate, but we do have a Series 3 unusual, which is worth about 14 keys. Let's see how we do on our last 200 here. Our unusual tracker is looking more and more realistic. We only have 200 left, so we have a very, very small chance of getting 5 or more unusuals. Sorry, a 3.4% chance of getting 4, a 10.2% chance of getting 3, a 23.4% chance of getting 2, a 35.3% chance of getting 1, and a 26.6% chance of getting no more unusual for the rest of the video. Let's see how we do. We'll go back to the openings. Number 801. We get a Cleaner's Carbine Strangifier. $802. Get a strange cosmetic part kills. That's worth 5.5 keys for a 4.5 key profit. 803. Another Cleaner's Carbine Strangifier. 804. Another Cleaner's Carbine. 805. That is a Private Eye Strangifier. 806. That's a Pretty Boys Pocket Pistol Strangifier. Another long-winded one. 807. Cleaner's Carbine. 808. That's a Phlogistinator. Whoops. A Phlogistinator Strangifier. 809. Pretty Boys Pocket Pistol. 810. Cleaner's Carbine Strangifier. 811. Cleaner's Carbine. 812. Cleaner's Carbine. 813. Cleaner's Carbine. 814. Pretty Boys Pocket Pistol, Strange Fire. 815. Strange Part, full health kills. 816. Cleaner's Carbine. 817. Strange Part, full health kills. 818. It's a Flog Strangifier. 819. Pretty Boys Pocket Pistol. 820. That's a Cleaner's Carbine. 821. Strange Part headshot kills. It's worth 3.5 keys. 822. Strange Part full health kills. 823. It's a Flog Strangifier. 824. Another Flog Strangifier. 825. Cleaner's Carbine. 826. A Flog Strangifier. 827. Strange Cosmetic Part kills. 828. Cleaner's Carbine. 829. Private Eye Strangifier. 830. Another Private Eye Strangifier. 831. Pretty Boys Pocket Pistol. 832. Flog Strangifier. Whoops, I'm out of keys. 1 minute. Okay, I got some more keys. Let's go 833. It's a Pretty Boys Pocket Pistol. 834. Another Pretty Boys Pocket Pistol. 835. Cleaner's Carbine. 836. Pretty Boys Pocket Pistol. 837. Pretty Boys Pocket Pistol. 838. That's a Big Chief Strangifier. 839. A Flog Strangifier. 840. Pretty Boys Pocket Pistol. 841. Sweet. Strange Cosmetic Part kills. 842. It's a Flog Strangifier. 843. Another Flog. 844. Strange part, full health kills. 845. Pretty Boy's pocket pistol. 846. Strange part, headshot kills. 847. Sweet. Strange cosmetic part kills. 848. Sweet. Those are 3 great pulls in a row. Strange part headshot kills. 849. Cleaner's Carbine. 850. That's a Flog. Okay, looking at how we're doing so far, we're behind on the 2 valuable items, which is cosmetic part kills and headshot kills. We expected a little more of each, and still no unusual. We'll keep going. 851. Strange part headshot kills. Good to see. 852. Cleaner's Carbine. 853. Cleaner's Carbine. 854. Strange cosmetic part kills. Very nice. 855. Pretty Boy's pocket pistol. 856. Flog Stranger Fire. 857. Pretty Boy's pocket pistol. 858. Flog Stranger Fire. 859. Strange part headshot kills. Catching up on that one. 860. Cleaner's Carbine. 861. Strange part full health kills. 862. That's a Flog Stranger Fire. 863. Pretty Boy's pocket pistol. 864. Strange part headshot kills. 865. Strange cosmetic part kills. Nice. 866. That's a Flog Strange Fire. 867. Strange part headshot kills. Finally catching up to the expected value on that. 868. Cleaner's Carbine. 869. Flog. 870. Cleaner's Carbine. 871. It's a Flog. 872. Cleaner's Carbine. 873. Private Eye. 874. Strange part full health kills. 875. It's a Flog. 876. Strange part headshot kills. 877. Cleaner's Carbine. 878. Cleaner's Carbine. 879. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 880. Strange part full health kills. 881. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 882. Strange part full health kills. 883. A flog. 884. Another flog. 885. Cleaner's Carbine. 886. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 887. Big Chief Strange of Fire. 888. Strange part headshot kills. 889. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 890. Another Pretty Boy. 891. Cleaner's Carbine. 892. Another Cleaner's Carbine. 893. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 894. Cleaner's Carbine. 895. A flog. 896. Private Eye Strange of Fire. 897. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 898. Big Chief Strange of Fire. 899. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. And 900. Strange part headshot kills. 901. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 902. Private Eye. 903. Cleaner's Carbine. 904. Cleaner's Carbine. 905. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 96. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 997. Not 997. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. What number are we on? We're on 908. Strange cosmetic part kills. Sweet. We need a lot more of those. 909. Cleaner's Carbine. 910. Strange part headshot kills. 911. Another headshot kills. Nice. 912. Pretty Boy's pocket pistol. 913. Flog's range of fire. 914. Another Flog. 915. Strange part full health kills. 916. Pretty Boys pocket pistol. 917. Flog's range of fire. 918. Pretty Boy's pocket pistol. 919. Flog's range of fire. 920. Pretty Boy's pocket pistol. 921. Another Pretty Boy's pocket pistol. 922. Flog's range of fire. Hey, this next one's pretty special. This is unbox or trade up number 5,000. So let's see it. That's a Flog's range of fire. That's 5,000 crates and trade ups done on my channel since the beginning of the channel. That's pretty cool. Okay, this is 924. That's a Flog. 925. Pretty Boy's pocket pistol. 926. Strange part full health kills. 927. Flog's range of fire. 928. Another Flog. 929. Pretty Boy's pocket pistol. 930. Another Pretty Boy. 931. That's a Flog. 932. Another Flog. 933. A third Flog. 944. Strange part headshot kills. 935. Strange part full health kills. 936. Private Eye range of fire. 937. Strange part headshot kills. 938. Strange. Whoops. Flog's range of fire. 939. Cleaner's carbine. 940. Strange part full health kills. 941. Pretty Boy's pocket pistol. 942. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 943. A third Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 944. Fourth one. Ouch. 945. Strange cosmetic part kills. Sweet. We need more of those. 946. Cleaner's Carbine. 947. It's a Flog. 948. Private Eye. 949. It's a Flog. 950. That's a Flog. Okay, one last look at our charts before we open the last 50. We are way behind on the cosmetic part kills. We have got maybe half the value we expected out of that. So we are way down in terms of our overall profit. We're down 92 keys overall. We spent 980 and we've got back 880. So not good. So I don't think we're going to get back in the green unless we unbox a super crazy unusual. But I don't see that happening. So we're just going to keep going. You know, these are profitable on average, but it doesn't mean they're guaranteed profit. So we're going to have to keep going. 951. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 952. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol again. 953. Cleaner's Carbine. 954. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 955. Flog, Strange of Fire. 956. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 957. Another Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 958. A third Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 959. Cleaner's Carbine. 960. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 961. Flog, Strange of Fire. 962. Cleaner's Carbine. 963. Big Chief. 964. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 965. Flog, Strange of Fire. 966. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 967. Cleaner's Carbine. 968. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 969. Big Chief. 970. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 971. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 972. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 973. Cleaner's Carbine. 974. Log Strange of Fire. 975. Cleaner's Carbine. 976. Cleaner's Carbine. 977. Strange Cosmetic Part Kills. Sweet. 978. Cleaner's Carbine. 979. Cleaner's Carbine. 980. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 981. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 982. Cleaner's Carbine. 983. Strange Cosmetic Part Kills. 984. Log Strange of Fire. 985. Strange Cosmetic Part Kills. 986. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 987. Private Eye. 988. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol. 989. Log Strange of Fire. 990. Strange Part Full Health Kills. 991. Strange Cosmetic Part Kills. 992. Strange Part Headshot Kills. 993. Cleaner's Carbine. 994. Log Strange of Fire. 995. Another Flog Strange of Fire. 996. Strange Part Headshot Kills. 997. Big Chief. 998. Another Big Chief. 999. Pretty Boy's Pocket Pistol Strange of Fire. And the last one, number 1000. That's a Strange Cosmetic Part Kills. Great one to end on. Okay, how did we do for this? We were behind on the two parts that mattered. The Cosmetic Part Kills, we expected more than 100 keys of value. We got less than 75. And for Headshot Kills, we expected closer to 75, but we got closer to 50 in value. So that's too bad. We lost a bunch on this last crate. It overall went as expected. We just got more of the Stranges and less of the Strange parts, so it would have been nice to get more Strange parts. Okay, the final review. We spent 1,032 keys. We opened up 930 keys, so we lost 102.41 keys. Ouch. So that hurts for today's video. And yeah, not much we could have done. We opened profitable crates, which on average are giving us more than we put in, but today it did not work out. Today we're on the losing side of that. We expected, honestly, 5 or more unusuals today, and we only got a couple, so that's really too bad. Let's jump back to the crate opening view, just so we can take a look at everything we got today. So we got lots of these domination kills, which are valuable. And then the next crate, we got not as many damage dealt as we would have hoped for. And on this one, we had lots of scatter guns, lots of craft hats, some robots destroyed. I missed my unusual. We got the unusual soulmate and the unusual Das Guten Herren, and more robots destroyed. This one had lots of 1 key items in it, so it was less risky. And our last one, we got way less cosmetic part kills than we needed to get, which is too bad. Okay, well, wow, 1,000 crates. Don't know if I'll do this again, but was a lot of fun. Let's do the outro. If you want to buy anything from me, I've got all my items up on manco.store. I'll have everything from this video listed up here in a week when the trade lock expires. But you can buy any items from me by clicking on the link in the description, because manco.store sponsors me. So if you click on that link and buy anything through my store or anywhere else on the market, that helps support the channel. And I've got to shout out my Discord and my YouTube members. So for my Discord, there's a link in the description if you want to come hang out. We're just a chill community talking about TF2 trading. It's not so much to trade items, it's just about talking about trading. So yeah, come hang out if you want to come talk with us, if you have any questions. And for YouTube memberships, I want to shout out everyone who's a member. We have Ghost, Galaxy, Festive Morgan, Menetix, and Raccoon as video supporters. For Clan Pride supporters, we have Liquid Filth, Fortress Demonstrations, and NKS Grey. For Key supporters, we have Luma JJ, Blue, Afterburnist, Korsho, Penumbra. And for Refined supporters, we have Mintai, Joey Cheerio, Basil, Crash P, and Hammock. Thanks everybody for being part of the community and helping me open up a bunch of crates. Okay, that's it. I'm exhausted. Take care of yourselves out there, and have a good one. Bye-bye.